So, let me pull up the earnings for today because obviously the main earning today is going to be, or this week is NVIDIA. So, today honestly isn't that exciting. So that's why in the title here I have NIO and Target, because those are going to be tomorrow pre-market. So that's why I'm going to be mentioning those. But today I'll quickly go over anything that's happening at close. One's Powell, P-O-W-L. It's kind of funny. I see Lazy Boy. We know that. I'll look at these at close, but the main ones I'm going to talk about today are going to be pre-market ones tomorrow, NIO and Target. Obviously, Tesla did really well on the last earnings, stock move wise at least. So NIO will be pretty important. We'll see what that does. It definitely hasn't moved nearly as well as Tesla, and honestly, it's come down ever since the election, which I would think is because Tesla will probably be taking over some more. So, you guys got any questions for me before I get into this? Market closes in 5 minutes. This shouldn't be there's the bell. This shouldn't be a super, hang on, let me check closing prints here. Meta got some buys. Squares, some sells, that's okay. Cool. All right, well, let me just hit some of these tickers here at close, see what happens. POWL did nothing. Lazy Boy, not much of a closing print there as well. I don't expect big moves on these. That's honestly about it. ZDT. ZTO, I can't read it. He's nothing too crazy here. Keys had the most volume here at the close, but I don't know. Tesla, pretty big move today. 350 will be on watch for me tomorrow for sure. So that'll be exciting. Target has honestly gone pretty flat for the last couple months. So I don't know what this is going to do. We're honestly at a pretty important level here. This like 157.50 level has been pretty strong resistance. So, above 160, this could probably get going. Who knows what Target will do tomorrow morning? Anyone have predictions on that? Anyone follow Target or positioned in Target? Take that as a probable no. I'm not, so that's why I ask. NIO's just, again, down in the dumps. Not anything too exciting there. I don't know. Let's see where like Lucid is. Lucid's way down here. Rivian's down near lows as well. These companies, I'm sure y'all have seen some of their cars, but it's definitely not as prevalent as Tesla, right? What happened with Square, Jelly? Something happened at close? I don't have anything here. We'll see. What about NVIDIA? Yeah, so obviously NVIDIA, we have an earnings stream planned out for that tomorrow, but I will talk about it. I am honestly very surprised at the move we saw today. I would have loved to catch some of this, but the options today were it's earnings week, so they definitely didn't move that well. Or they wouldn't have moved that well if the stock didn't do what it did today. Obviously, if you bought some calls and just held it, you would have made money. But they were definitely going to be a little bit more expensive, I'm sure. I don't even know what the IV is on it. I didn't even want to really look at it today because of their earnings. But IV is 121%. At the money contracts today at the close were $500-600. So definitely up quite a lot from where they typically are. But at kind of a key level here, I mean, we bounced right off this big downtrend we have. We kind of have, or an uptrend. We kind of have a downtrend here at the top. So I don't know. 150 is a pretty key level. I'm gonna be sad if they end up breaking it tomorrow by a lot, because I wanted to get a day trade on that. I'm not gonna buy some sort of, you know, earnings swing. I have no interest in that. It's going to take a lot to really skyrocket this. So I'm more than happy to just wait, see whatever it does, and then catch the day trade the next day, whether it's up or down. I'm going to be hesitant if the stock does come down, because I don't know that many people are going to try to short the stock. I mean, it just really, over time, it's just been killing it to the upside. So I would honestly look at a very big dip as a buying opportunity Thursday morning if that ends up happening. So I did take some pretty solid dip buys today on some things, looking for some follow through. I kind of wish I added a little bit more today, but it is what it is. Yeah, well, Kiwi, like insiders, people who work for the company, it's they all have financial advisors, and a lot of times when you see stocks near all-time highs, especially these massive stocks like Nvidia, Amazon, Apple, a lot of the people that, one, who have been there for a long time, or two, have some sort of ownership in the company. I mean, they have, quote unquote, their average price, wherever they're invested in, is extremely low, right? And they're also given stock options. So to think about people who joined Nvidia even 5 years ago, and they were given stock options. Well, their net worth probably 4 or 5 times, maybe even more, 10 times maybe, has grown over the last 5 years. And all of that money is on paper. So think about you going from having stock options because you're working at a chip company to having, maybe tens of millions of dollars on paper. Well, you're going to want some of that. So you got to sell some shares. That's just what a lot of people do. Thoughts on BTCS and GTS? I'll get into those, John. One sec. Sam Hells. My whole account was down 45% today, and I yellowed my account to be back in profit plus 0.32%. Yeah, I mean, try not to figure out why you traded that way, today, or you dip buying something over and over and over again. All it takes is one trade to blow up your account. So I think today was a good learning lesson for that. So don't let that happen again. You probably just had a 10% chance of making it out alive there, and you did. So maybe go buy a lottery ticket. Don't let that ever happen again. But yeah, so 141 to 147 on Nvidia today. Insane move. I I was someone who wanted to actually end up buying this around 140, but considering the earnings were this week, I didn't know what this thing would do. Maybe I'm stupid for not thinking there's going to be a little bit of an earnings run up, but I also thought that, the last 2 weeks may have been an earnings run up when this thing went from, 130-ish, 132, all the way to 150. So it's kind of hard to just step in front of these things. But, the thing is, NVIDIA as a chip company, they're partnered with so many of the big tech names, right? Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Google. Right. So tomorrow we'll definitely move a lot of these other big names, right, on the Nvidia earnings. So even if Nvidia stock is down or flat, but on the earnings call they mentioned maybe a new deal with Apple or Tesla or Microsoft or Meta or hopefully Square. Who knows, right? That can move those stocks as well, and maybe it does end up popping Nvidia. I don't know. So that's just something to keep in mind. You kind of see some chop on a couple things today, but also in the grand scheme of things, I do think a lot of things ended up being green. Market opened red this morning, right? You saw SPY down a little bit. You saw NQ down, honestly, not a little bit, a full percent. And looks like we're closing green here on just about everything. So pretty big buy-up day. I think NVIDIA did lead the charge, right? NVIDIA, like I said, huge day. So I think a lot of these other stocks just followed. It was like Oh, okay. I guess everything's getting bought today and everyone just turned into a bull. So who knows? Tomorrow will be exciting. Obviously today's earnings at the end of the day aren't, and tomorrow mornings are okay. But Wednesday night you got Nvidia, Snowflake, and Palo Alto. So all worthy names to look at. Let me look at Lazy Boy just to see what that did. Looks like we're down about 2% here. Sorry, not 2%, $2. It's actually just on the bid. Yeah, a little drop. No volume in this. I mean, who's trading Lazy Boy, right? Unity moving, as in ticker U. Yeah, wow, pretty decent day. About $17, $18. And closed around almost 20. What was my comment on NIO? Well, I mean, NIO used to be exciting when it was a brand new company, but nowadays it's, if you look over time, you look on a 3-year chart here. I think the whole reason, well, I don't know if it's the whole reason, but a big reason for NIO, look at Lucid, LCID, and then Rivian, RIVN. These are all down. I mean, why? When you think about electric vehicles, you look at Tesla, right? You think Tesla. Yeah, sometimes you see a Rivian or a Lucid driving around. I've never seen a NIO in real life, but the market share that Tesla has is just eating away at whatever little bits that these companies have. So that doesn't mean that, NIO can't have a percentage move that's decent tomorrow. I mean, this could go from $4.50 to $6, right? I mean, who knows what'll happen? Look at the last earnings here. You're down at $4. We hit almost $8. So, I mean, that's a 100% move. So, I mean, there could be some opportunity here. But to me, NIO's not like the most exciting company anymore. When it was brand new, I traded it. I had a pretty decent swing on it. I'll never forget it. It was early on in my career, but it used to be a good stock. Now there's just not a ton of volume. There's not even half a billion volume for the day. I think you saw about 60, 70 million volume today, I would guess, in total. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like persuade anyone to like buy puts on NIO or anything. I don't know if it's going to go up or down. To me, it's a much smaller company than obviously the founders wanted it to be, and maybe some other people invested in it thought it would be. So we'll see. Made a bid on SPY 390, called 12.2 today. Nice. Are you holding that overnight, Rick, or did you just kind of day trade that? Pretty intense. Nice. Sold. Okay, good. Pretty intense dip buy today. There was some stuff going on in Russia. I mean, you saw the market down quite a bit pre-market here, and in a bull market like we're in now, any dip sometimes is worth buying. So we'll see. We will see. MSTR, another. I know I'm just kind of running through tickers here, and I do have a lesson tonight where I'll probably talk about a lot of this stuff again, guys. So this isn't going to be the most intense long stream here, just because there's not a whole lot to talk about. We've already talked about NIO and Target, but MSTR is, look at this move here. This guy, I think he bought almost $5 billion in Bitcoin, like, I don't know, in the last week, just buying and buying and buying and buying. So Bitcoin hit almost 95,000 today. This has gone absolutely nuclear. So, it was only $120 back here in September, at the end of September. So call it early October, which is what? Almost a month, just like a little over a month. And this thing is hitting almost 450 today. So not something I want to be chasing, but possibly something that if there is a significant dip in it that seems just oversold, then maybe there's an opportunity there. Something I was looking at today. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of strength in the market. So anything that you can, at least the way that I'm thinking, is anything that I can see that's just a little bit oversold or almost like disregarded, like there's not enough attention there. That's where I'm kind of looking to take positions, right? So like Square has been moving well the last couple of days, right? So there has been some attention here, but for you guys that missed my stream this morning, you go on a 10-year chart here. Look what it did the last time this happened. It seems like it's based out a lot. This company is involved with crypto, so these, to me, this has given me the sense that sometimes you see the chart kind of setting up early on, and then right when it gets ready to break out from a technical standpoint, you kind of see that's where you'll see a news catalyst come in and they line up perfectly, which is weird, but it does happen, right? Some people know things, money knows things. It's just, you can kind of front run things like that, especially really big moves. And they're great trades. So it doesn't mean that I'm like going in super heavy. It's something that maybe this does nothing for another 2 months, and those options I talked about this morning are down 50%. I don't know, but I'm liking this. I am seeing this is getting some traction online. So we'll see. $100 is going to be an important spot. We break through that. Like I said, another catalyst. If a good catalyst comes in, it's could be good. They have earnings February 27 is their next one. So my contracts won't be there anymore, but I don't know. Just something to consider. Meta, I'll mention this one more time here. I was just interested in buying anywhere from around 550 to 540. Started a position today when it opened up at 550, and it ended up, I only took a half position, thinking that if this ends up coming down to 545, 540, I would like to add some more there. But we got a little bounce today. But just looking back at what Meta's done the last, I don't know, 2-3 months, had our moves down to 560, 550, and all it's taken is a couple days to get back to 600. So maybe on this next move, again, this is kind of me trying to front run a move here. Buy in really low when it's extended, get a little bit aggressive on it. Maybe you don't get a full position, maybe you do, but then you have a big runway for this to go back up. And ideally, I'm lucky enough to where this gets back up to 600. I can take a little bit of profit and then see if this can then break 600 for that big breakout that I've been looking for. Every time this thing comes to 600, I'm kind of getting ready. I'm like, okay, is this the time? Is this the time? If this ends up breaking out through 600, and again, catalysts can line up with that, it's fireworks. This could go 10% past that, which is 60 points, meaning I would catch almost a 100-point move from 550 here. So I don't know, just that's how my brain works. That's kind of the logic behind what I'm looking at. I hope that makes sense. And regardless, if you do, take these trades, I hope you get some education out of that kind of thought process there. So sometimes that's more valuable than the money that you could have made. Any questions on that? Probably going to head out of here in about 5 minutes. How long am I going to hold on to Meta for? It depends. I have a lot of time on it. I bought the December 27 expiration and about the 600 calls. So ideally, this gets up to 600. And if it happens in 2 days, I'd probably take profits. If it happens in a week, maybe take profits. But I bought enough time to where I want to see it get up there, then see what it can do. So that's kind of my thought on this. Tomorrow, this could be under 550. I just don't know. So again, it's something that, could I make 1,000% return buying next week expiration 600 calls for $10 and they go to 500? Yeah, they could, but chances of that are pretty low. So that's why I bought further out expiration, giving me some time. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, they're a little more expensive, but that also means that I bought the contracts for like 550, I think, and if we run to 600, I mean, they could be $3,000. Honestly, let's see what they are. So at the money right now on my expiration is $2,000. The 565 calls are $2,000. So that's a 400% return. And historically here, it's taken anywhere from 2 to 5 days to get back to 600 from this area. Market took a dip. I mean, you honestly could have dipped on so many different things. I mean, look in the video. It's as simple as, okay, where has this bounced before? Okay, beautiful trend line here. It broke it a little bit, held 140. Earnings are coming up. Okay, I'll take a stab at it. It's down, 10%, 8% from highs. Sometimes you get lucky. So I don't know. That's just that's how I think about things sometimes. And rarely do I do this, but Tesla, another great example, and I missed it, and I called it out Friday. I didn't have internet, so I just kind of was like, you know what, it's okay. I'm just going to disregard the market here. A lot of things are down. Just gonna take my lucky day off, kind of thing. And I said anywhere under 310, I would look to try to buy this. Maybe 2 week out calls. On this day, we opened up like 310, and we dropped to a low of, I don't know, like 308 or something, 309, and over the weekend, right? Monday morning comes around, this opens 340. So it would have been a 30-point move overnight, probably could have been a 300% gain or something. So, paying attention, being a little bit early is sometimes good. Being too early means that you're just wrong, right? So if you're going to be too early, you need to at least give yourself plenty of time. But knowing when things are just a little too overextended, or logically it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, is sometimes the best times to get in or get out of a trade. I missed the test one as well. Yeah, I mean, I caught some of that election move, but I missed out on over half of it after making, a pretty solid return on a swing over 2 days. Took my profit and it went another 60 points. So I was happy with a 25-point move. So I only caught a third of the move. Think about that. Sucks, but it is what it is, right? You can never buy the bottom and sell the top. It's catching a good portion of it and not being greedy and taking your money and running, because those times where you're just think that you can get lucky and hold on to something that's never going to stop is the exact time when it's going to come down. Because my last little psychology tip before I end this is those trades where you're looking for that massive runner, right? You're up 400%. Oh man, this could go 500%. Okay, then you get your 500%. Okay, and then you get your 600%, and you're like, this is going to go forever, right? I mean, I want 1,000%, right? Your mind kind of switches to a gambling mindset, and then you go from up 600% to up 500%. Oh, okay. You know what? If it gets to 600, I'll get out. Well, okay, it goes to 550, then 450. Okay, well, you just lost, 25% of what you were up. And now you're like, well, okay, if it gets back to where it was, I'll get out. And then it comes down more. And it comes down more. Next thing you know, a 600% gain that you should have taken at 400%, right? You now only make 200% on it because you bag held it. That is the problem with trying to go for these massive, massive runners. Okay. And it's all just psychology. Humans are greedy, guys. Everyone is. I am, you are. We don't, we want to be hopeful. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to, fear anything. And, the longer you do this, the more that you're going to kind of exploit those problems. And you have to learn from them. Because, like, for me, when I start feeling that way, right, if I'm like, you know what, I want to be kind of greedy on this, I really want to look for another 20% or whatever, I'm like to the point where I'm just like, you know what, that's my flag to get out, you know. Yeah, so I hope that made sense, but it looks like some of y'all are agreeing with that. It's true. And I mean, guys, the only reason I can talk the way that I talk and teach kind of this way is because I've made all of these mistakes. So it's I can't just make this up or read it from a book, So hope that was good for you guys that haven't ever been to an Ethan free lesson tonight. This is how it goes. I just sit here, talk to you guys, answer questions, ramble on, and hopefully you can pick up a thing or two. But I'm probably going to end this stream here just because I do have another hour stream tonight. And I'll see you guys then. But yeah, here we go. Bye-bye.